everyone, and welcome to week 3 of Spiritual Media. As you see, I'm not just on my own this week. I actually do have friends. And so this is one of my good friends, Jaina. And yeah, I'll let you talk a little bit about yourself.
Oh, great. Hi, I'm Jaina. I'm a senior at Sarah Lawrence, where I study with JJ here. And we co-chair Rise together.
Yeah, and you know, you traveled somewhere to do film last time.
Oh yeah, to
over
Dubai.
the summer. Yeah,
over
Dubai.
The spring,
yeah.
Spring break. Yeah. That was
How long
nice.
were you there for?
A week or so.
Week.
Yeah.
That's amazing. We've been talking these last 3 weeks about social media as a platform and as a community. And so how we can, last week especially, we talked about how we can treat it as a community, which means that there's a burden on us. Like we have to participate. Like in a community, you can't just like show up. You can't just watch. You like have to show up and participate and be engaged. And like you have to like care about the people there. And so challenging us to use social media to participate, not just to use it as a convenience. Not just like swipe and look, but like to actually comment or post or like engage with people and have conversations. So like in your Facebook posts, and we can get right down to award season, how would you say you use your social media, especially around award seasons, to to interact with a community? What is that community that you're like intending to interact with, and what kind of conversations are you having?
So I post a lot during award season, primarily because I really enjoy award season, even though I recognize that these institutions are very problematic and like the awards don't really matter at all. So having sort of that dual consciousness of really enjoying it, but then observing it oppositionally because they're very problematic and very exclusive, but I do really enjoy them, and I like to see people getting dressed up, particularly people of color, which is what I amplify and highlight on my social media during award season primarily. And the community that I'm engaging with and people I hope to engage with are usually, well, one, they partake in watching movies or TV that are getting these awards. Most people that I communicate with on social media during those times are not award season people, so they don't have to watch the show to know what's going on or to like see what's important because it'll be on my page. So that's something that I try to do to give people the highlights, and you don't have to watch all these white people win awards. Here's what you really need to see. Here are the black folks, here are the brown people. And so it's just a way to celebrate, people of color, and just to see us in spaces that we're not normally in, which, can be cool or maybe not, But I just sort of, one, I enjoy it because I am a filmmaker and I am in this industry. And then on the other hand, I just really like to see black people all dressed up and like happy and being celebrated. And so I like to, highlight that and show that on my social media so other people can engage with it, because these awards are very exclusive. Not too many people are aware of them. Not too many people who are underrepresented receive the awards. So you see on my page, I give my honorary awards to people. People who should have won and people who weren't even nominated at all. So I like bringing everybody.
I will say it makes it a lot easier for me because I don't really watch the shows, especially here we don't have cable.
Right.
So I do just look at your social media, and then that way I can also, like stay relevant and be like, oh yeah, like she totally should have won. Like, and so what do you hope to get from doing that? Like I know you said, you're bringing awareness. That there are people of color in this industry that are underrepresented. And so, like, by engaging with social media and talking about that, like, I don't know, how is that different from talking about it in, like, a hipster class here at Sarah Lawrence, or, just with family back home, or what is different about the way, you talk about this on social media and what you hope to get from that?
Well, it's different than, conversing with people at Sarah Lawrence in the classroom setting. Because, well, for one, with Sarah Lawrence, we talk about everything all the time, and we have these super deep conversations. So we would probably be talking about, like capitalism and the influence of white supremacy in the war season, and we were talking about it in the classroom setting. So it would be a good conversation and a productive one, but it probably wouldn't be as fun. And so on social media, I'm not only engaged with people who go to Sarah Lawrence, but I am also engaged with friends back home or friends of friends, whoever I'm friends with or whoever I follow, whoever follows me on social media. So it's a way to engage with people outside of academia, and even sometimes along with people inside academia. So getting to hear all of those voices and perspectives and people taking in this moment. And on my page, it's like fun and celebratory. So that I think is one of the differences, and what I hope to get out of it is really just to sort of, one, award shows are really long and they are exhausting, and watching them isn't, it actually isn't as fun as one might think from looking at my page. So people don't have to be exhausted if you just look on my social media during award season. You can just see all the good stuff there.
Plug right there.
But no, the one thing I hope people get out of it, and something that I want to get out of it, is just having a good time using social media, because I talk about how it can be very draining and, depressing, and, it's not always great. So that's one way that I use social media.
And so if you could send a challenge to everyone, so each week I've given them a challenge, and I'm learning how to use iMovie, so I do a little like fade. So I make a point to say, cool fade, and then we fade. You know this now. And so if you could give them a challenge this week, in the way that we use social media, what would that challenge be?
I would challenge people to use, so we use social media. One thing that really gets me, I usually look at my phone as one of the first things that I do in the morning, and I have to it wakes me up to check the time, turn off my alarm, and then go to social media, and I'm scrolling through, and then I eventually get up. A bad habit, I would challenge you not to practice that. But since most of us do, the Explore page on Instagram really gets me, and I waste a lot of time on there going through all the same Beyonce videos that I've seen 50 million times.
Probably a good use of time, though.
I mean, arguably. But I would challenge people to use social media productively and proactively, because I think it can be a time waster. So to use it for what really brings you joy, and and use it in ways that can challenge you, whether it be to start a conversation, or it inspires you to do something. I follow a lot of artists and filmmakers and things like that, so social media is a way that I gain inspiration. But use it proactively, and I also encourage people to engage. Do all of that, but most important thing, figure out what is fake news, alternative facts, and even on the liberal side, because we project all of that. Oh no, only the right is doing that, and I've seen so many people, dragging people or getting so hyped up over an issue that was curated by the right to sort of disrupt and have these conversations, and to take our minds off certain things. So people who are progressive or claim to be progressive or liberal or what have you, check yourselves. A lot of those articles that some of you are sharing are not legitimate, and are not factual. So I would encourage people to really look into what they're sharing and promoting and what they're reading, and just fact check it.
Great. Yeah, definitely. So check our sources. And I like what you said, to interact with people. And I just, as you were talking, I realized, we have access over social media to people that we'd never come in contact with, right? Like we can actually see accounts of, filmmakers and people of color in those fields, and we can see their work right there on social media. So if you're in a place that doesn't represent that demographic, you have access to seek understanding. And I think that's something really neat. Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you for coming on this week. And great. Will you just smile and wave goodbye so I can take a cute screenshot of this for the photo?